my name is Erin and we're back at the Pirates Treasure Museum this week. Last week, you may remember, we talked all about La Trompeuse and explored her adventures with her ruthless captain, Jean Hamlin. This week, we'd like to talk about a nearby ship that also burnt to the waterline, the Trinity. Here we go. Captain Sharp came from humble beginnings. He was born in England around 1650 and began his maritime career as a privateer during the Third Anglo-Dutch War. When the war ended, so did his career as a privateer, so naturally, he turned to piracy. He was only a pirate for a very short time, for 7 years, from about 1675 to 1682, but his exploits during that time were legendary. Sharp, along with some other notable captains, formed their own pirate fleet, and in 1679 set sail for the Caribbean, where they sailed into the Bay of Honduras and captured a Spanish merchantman. In December later that same year, the fleet met back up for a pirate meeting in Jamaica, where they decided to take the port city of Portobello, Panama. It was during this meeting they also chose one of their own captains as admiral, Captain Coxswain. January 17th, 1680, they sailed into Portobello, blockaded it for weeks. During this time, they raided the city and were able to take unsuspecting merchant ships. Once they were satisfied with their haul and their bounty, they set sail for Boca del Toro, where they divided and distributed their plunder. During his time in Panama, rumors of Sharp's nefarious actions began to grow. I say rumors because there were never any witnesses left. It was during one such incident, Sharp came across a Spanish galleon called the Santa Maria de la Consolacion. The Spanish captain, not wanting to be taken by English pirates, ran his ship aground on the Isle of Santa Clara. In doing so, he ran into a reef and started to send the ship down. During this time, he sent his men ashore and actually set his own ship ablaze to keep the treasure out of the hands of the English pirates. This infuriated Sharp to the point that he was so enraged he decided to behead all 350 of the Spanish crew. He may also have managed to walk away with just a little bit of the treasure. After the disaster with the Consolacion, Sharp and his men came across another Spanish galleon that they raided and plundered. In the hold, they found no king's ransom. There was no gold, no gems, only grayish slabs of metal that they took to be tin. They kept one bar to turn into musket balls. The other 699 grayish slabs they threw right overboard. Crestfallen, Sharp and his men decided to head back to England. However, en route, the Spanish and the English crown got together and determined that Sharp was a pirate. He was now a wanted man. In every port they stopped at, they were turned away or fired upon. Finally, finding safe haven at Nevis, they were shooting those musket balls from those grayish slabs of metal when they discovered that, in fact, those bars were not tin. They were silver. Those silver bars, the 699 that they had thrown overboard, were an estimated 150,000 pounds at the time, would be equal to tens of millions of dollars today. During one of his exploits, Sharp's men came across what looked like a giant book. Suspecting what it was, Sharp snatched it out of the hands of his men before it went overboard. Sure enough, it was a Spanish book of maps. This, as Sharp realized, was an invaluable piece of information, as the Spanish had charted the harbors of all of South America. This was knowledge the English Navy did not have. Because of this book, Sharp's life would be saved and spared. After leaving Nevis, Sharp realized he and his men were wanted. They decided to set sail back to England, where they were arrested and put on trial. Because of this book and Sharp's willingness to give it up to the English crown, as well as the fact that there were no known witnesses to any of Sharp's alleged acts of piracy, he and his men were pardoned. We just finished the story of the Consolacion. Here at the Pirate Treasure Museum, you too can take home a piece of its history.